G'day everyone, welcome back. I'll just wait for you guys to hop on. I know I'm putting my gloves on because it just helps with my head. So while you guys are hopping back on, I'm going to continually piece some of these together. Once you're on, say g'day, let me know you're here. You're having a good Sunday. It's a nice day for getting in the garden today. It's actually not bad weather. Hi Lynette, how are you? Just sorting out my machine. Alrighty, so what I'll do is I'll just move that camera in the down position and just make sure. Hi Diane, I'm just going to move some stuff so I don't knock that camera over. Hang on. Hang on. I'm going to be very careful. Hi, good afternoon Pat, welcome. And Yvonne, welcome. Oh, come on machine, stay there. Alright, okay. Hi Lynn, howdy. Okay, so just move that a little bit more secure. So cold, you got the fire going. Oh, okay. All right, so now it's not quite that cold here. It probably could be, but yeah, it's not. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to keep piecing some of these and I'll just go through this process. Now again, we're going to do that scant 1/4 inch on one side. Come on, there we go. Oh, needle up. I just unthreaded myself. Hi Debbie. I actually just need to check something on my phone. Oh, come on, my little fingers work. Oh. Hi Denise, I think I just said that. Come on little darling. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reiterate, I can't see for looking, what I've got so far. Oh, come on. Oh my God, Father. Ladies, big thank you to Pat for the reminder. You're welcome. Yes, thank you, Pat. Yes, tag your friends in. Let them know what we're doing. I'll try one more go before I crack it. There we go. I just didn't have my thread cut properly. That was a bit silly of me, wasn't it? Come through. There we go. Okay. Just got to get my mouse and get my computer going for me. Come on, darling. There we go. All right. So again, what I'm going to be doing here, we've done a whole heap of half square triangles with the light color, so the background color, and the what do they call it? The main color, or the colorful ones. I'm just doing stuff here, and now I'm doing some with similar colors. Yeah, I like that dark blues. Yes, so this is a part of the I think it's a seafoam. I think it's seafoam. It's nice, isn't it? Okay, so just going into here and just find what I'm looking for on the poodah at the same time. 6 things at once as we do. I was supposed to have this sorted before today, but with everything that's been going on, I haven't had time to scratch. So I'm just gonna go down to find what I want. Alrighty, so we're going to go here, there. Beauty. Alright. Okay. What have we got? So have you guys been doing much today? It's not bad weather, is it, hey? I mean, it's a little bit cold, but it's not too bad. Okay. What's the days? Very little in my sewing room cutting fabric. Nice. Hi, Teresa. Sorry, I'm just doing the ordinary thing here. Just don't mind me for a second. Just trying to find something. As you do 6 things at once, as we do. And just finished watching Fleur's live. Missed it this morning. Too much running around. I've got more threads too. I went and got them this morning. That's why, or this afternoon, I slept in. You're making cakes. Oh, I should be doing stuff like that. And anyway, I went. You're cleaning and baking. That's what I should be doing. It's not happening because why should I do that? Well, I can do this. Anywho, I thought, right, I need to make sure that I've got myself sorted. So yeah, so I've sort of been doing other things, so not what I should be doing. But anyway, that's okay. We do these things. So I'm just trying to sort myself out here, and so I'm organised. So yeah, so there was absolutely no organisational skills at all today. So it didn't happen. So anyway, we'll just sew along. Alright, so you sew your scant 1/4 inch along one way, and all I've done is I've separated into 2 piles, and I'm literally just lining up one way, and I've ironed down the center of these, so I've got a rough idea of the center. And then I'm just going to do a handful so we can do this next section. Oops, the days. So I've no particular order, no particular colorway, nothing at all like that. I've just chucked them together. So that works pretty good for me. Yeah, so I should be doing some baking. I haven't done that for ages. I did some the other night, but I cheat, of course, because, you know, I don't have time to start from scratch like I used to. So I just want to do a few different colours, and I want to go through the process of squaring them up again, just so I can reiterate that, and I know that you're all on the, you've got that under your cap and you know what you're doing, and if you're confident with it. Did anyone have any issues? No issues? Did I just sew 2? No, I didn't. No issues with getting them squared up and stuff? Yeah, so I got more threads today from Julie, so I'll be able to do that probably, might do that later, at $1 each. And I've had someone send me a message and I've got that written down about getting some of the new ones that were coming out. Well, not new ones, but the other stock. So I'm going to be putting those aside as I do the demo. What were you saying there, Pat? I was going to be lemon poppy seed cake, going to make, but someone forgot to buy the poppy seeds, so it's just lemon cake. Oh, look, nothing wrong with a good old lemon cake. I love lemon cake. Lemon. My seams are never perfect and I fudge everything. Well, that makes it perfect. So as long as you're happy. My seams are never perfect either, but I'm still okay with that. I don't stress too much. When you do this part of it, always worthwhile chain piecing. If you haven't tried chain piecing before, you'll be surprised at how much time it saves you, and how quick you can get this done. I think the longest time making, hi everyone, hi Stella, the longest part of this would have to be the squaring up, but it's absolutely worth its while in the long run, when you get them together and you see the results. Many years ago I went to a retreat and I was really new at doing patchwork. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story because, you know, I talk a lot. So anyway, I'm at this retreat, and Mum and I were there, and there were these quilt police there, and we didn't know anything about quilt police then, so I had no idea what that was all about. But anyway, I wanted to make this quilt. It's called Straight Around the Bend, which I will do a demo on and work on. And anyway, of course, it's a lot of cutting, but you know, if I was never perfect, still never perfect, happy with not being perfect, but these girls had to have everything perfect. So anyway, I've got it. I had it all cut, all ready to go, yada yada yada. Everything was really good. No points matched. I was happy anyway, and I'm having a laugh. Oh, I love that quilt too, Stella. It's a great quilt. Anyway, I'm laughing and I'm enjoying myself, having a great time. And these two women, honest to God, they cracked it with me. How can you possibly work? I kid you not. How can you possibly be working when you're talking so much? Hi, Debbie. That was what they said. And I just went, well, I'm enjoying myself, so yes, I can. So anyway, I just ignored them, and they made a comment at the end. I got it together. They hadn't, but I got it together, and I was as happy as a pig in it. I was wrapped. I got all this work done in one weekend, and you know, had this whole project in my mind, and blah blah blah. And they made the comment, "Oh well, that's a pointless quilt, isn't it?" Like, yeah, oh, I know, pointless. I'm like, I looked at Mum looked at me, and I just ignored them, and I said, well, at least mine's done. And from there on in, I have been an absolute, yeah, like our classes, yeah, so I just, exactly, Lynn, just have fun, just enjoy it, you know, and, you know, love the process, have some laughs with some friends, all good. But these two women could not help themselves but be narky. Yeah, I know, Stella. So now I jokingly say, this is my pointless quilt. Not that anyone knows what that's all about, but you do now. So there you go. So that was the pointless quilt. So I have done it again since, and it's still pointless. So just letting you know, I still am not an absolute avid supporter for making those points 100% match. I keep trying to better myself on that all the time. I am more of a happy, let's just do this and get this done and let's be happy with it. But, you know, I do it. Yeah, exactly, Heather. Yeah, exactly. So now I'm going to turn this around. Hey, don't be sitting down again. Turn this all around. It's all in one big chain. So if I hold it up, it's like that. You can see it's all joined. So I'm just going to literally turn it around and do the other side. So that's how quick that was. It was enough for me to have a bit of a chat. Wait, lift. lift, bend and press. So yeah, so now Mum and I make a joke out of it, but at the time I was sort of a little bit, I suppose because I was so new at it, I was sort of a bit, that's not very nice and whatever else, and I felt like telling them where to go as I would, but I couldn't in that environment. We had a lady who they thought they were the quilt police at our retreat one year. She did upset me, but next one I pluck up enough courage and tell her what I thought. Yeah, good on you. Yeah, I think those people really need to get a life. You know, I do this because I love it. As soon as it becomes a chore, I'm not doing it anymore. So that's my thought. So for me, if it's a chore, then it's real work. Although I do work, as you know, but it's fun work. I love my work. Yes, some people, and I've had people come to my workshops, and Helen Godden was even telling a story. She had someone do that and to her in the middle of a class and blah blah blah, and like a teacher actually do it to her. And anyway, and teacher had her in tears, and I cannot, so went to a lesson there, put me off for years. Yeah, exactly. And I cannot stand that. You know, I want to see people happy at the end of the day. I never, ever, ever make a snide comment about someone else's work. I might, kindly suggest an alternative or, something like that. But I tell you what, that taught me a big lesson early in the piece of what not to be. So quilt police, every time I do a class, well not every time, but almost every time, I'll turn around and say, right, the quilt police are not allowed in my classes, so if you're a part of the quilt police, you now can get up and leave. I haven't had one leave yet, but it'd be interesting if I ever did. It'd be funny. I'd probably just laugh. So I don't mind if you're a little bit anally retentive about your own work. That doesn't bother me, or OCD, whatever you want to call it. That doesn't bother me. That's your own work. We're all our worst, our own worst critics. We're shocking to ourselves. We never treat ourselves kind enough. But when it comes to other people's, that's what I tell my girls at Neighbourhood Centre, do while you... Yeah, exactly. But what I tell other people is to just enjoy the process. If you have, say for example, if you have a machine that doesn't, what do they call it? It's just not working really great. It's sort of, I don't know, it's just been a real poop. It doesn't want to work good. It's just, sorry, just playing with that thing. It's not working well, or it's old, or it's just not a good machine. It needs to be replaced. It's tired, and we all get tired, or it's cheap and nasty that just won't do the things you want to do. A lot of then I'll advise, honestly advise. If no one asks for my advice, I don't advise. I don't sort of go, right, it's very mean to point out someone's differences in their quilt. That's why I call them not errors. Yeah, exactly. If you cannot say anything nice. Exactly what I thought, Stella. Well, my mum was there, and I sort of, Mum taught me, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. And if you do have to say something, say it with kindness. Say it in a way that will not make that person feel like a piece of shit, basically. And I often think to myself, how miserable it must be to be like them. A woman redid a block that I did for a group quilt as she didn't think it was good enough. Oh, how rude, Suzanne. Oh, my God. Yeah, that Judy. And, I've had people do that as well. And, look, all bully for you buying one from Spotty and whatever else. And I say it tongue-in-cheek, the SNLs and, you shouldn't buy from them, blah, 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 and support the shops. But in reality, the reality is that they do buy cheap and nasty. They aren't designed to do... They're designed for doing very, smaller projects, quick things, maybe some repairs on clothing as well. They're not really designed for quilting. You know, these machines, even those big ones that they say are quilting ones, aren't always designed in the right way for quilting, if that makes sense. Oh, Suzanne, that is just horrendous. Mending, exactly, Stella. Yeah, they're sort of designed for that sort of thing, but they're also good for, on Dad's quilt, it was pick because I stuffed up, put 2 blocks in the wrong way. Who cares? If it was nowhere near, yeah, it's nowhere near my, yeah, of course, but it's apples and pears. But when you're first starting and you just want to start out, there's nothing wrong with that, is there? You know, that's fine. That is fine. It's you've got to look at it as to it's relevant for you at that time. Do you know what I mean? You also don't want to push someone into spending money they don't have as well. So that's the other thing. And I think, to be honest, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So as far as I'm concerned, I prefer to be nicer to people, even if I've got something that I need to get off my mind, than I would be narky. Yes, exactly right, Heather. Sometimes that's what people can afford. And if that's the case, then I work with that, you know, and that is fine. But as far as making them feel shit because they've got this crappy machine, that's just, you know, yeah, sort of not okay. Well, you saw my old faff. You girls gave me a light. Yeah, we did. Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with some of these old machines. Some of them are the best and brightest, hard working horses, you know, that exist. This is why I love the group. The group of lovely people in this group is so kind to each other. Oh, thanks, Lynette. Yeah, I think we are all. Everyone in this group is just really, really kind, except for one, Mary. She's not here, and she's a bitch for not being here. But we'll talk about that another day, because she broke her leg, and that's just inconsiderate, really. Have to have words with her. But, yeah, everyone in this group is just amazeballs. Like, you guys blow my mind every day. I learn things from you. I feel warm and fuzzy, so to speak, in a really, you know, weird way. It sort of makes me warm and fuzzy to know that you guys are there all the time. I only have to turn on my phone or, you know, look at my computer and you're there. Hang on. I had a friend who went to SNL. Oh, hang on. For sewing lessons, and they talked her into a machine and rulers and cutting board and cutter, and she hated it and never done her quilt. And that's, oh my gosh. See, that's, and this is the thing. If someone asks me, you know, if I'm at the shows and that, what are you know, they want to buy a machine, even if it's a long arm. First thing I ask them, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to be using it for business? Are you going to be using it for yourself? You know, same with the sit-down machine. What's the go? What are you using it for? And then I can send them in the right direction, so that they are getting what they need, not what I want to sell them. You know, it would have made her feel useless. Yeah, that is very sad. Because now what they've done is they've ruined her opportunity of enjoying the process, rather than, you know, if they had thought about her needs rather than their selling, marketing, blah, blah. You know, then they would have felt that she wouldn't have felt so awful, and she'd be probably still enjoying it. I mean, something's not for everyone, that's okay, but, you know, most people who start and do quilting and really enjoy it will stay with it. Okay, no worries, Judy. You take it easy. And yes, she won't try. Yeah, exactly, Stella. And now that's ruined it. And where she could have been enjoying it, spending time with other like-minded people, and had a brilliant time. All right, so I've got those babies done. So I'm just going to move the camera. All right. So I'm going to move that out of the way. That one over there, that one over there, that one here. Yeah, that is sad. Exactly, Debbie. Excuse me. All right. Now. Okay. I'm just going to grab a couple of random ones. Don't know how many I'll need. We'll work with it. So open them out. Finger press down first. Get it open. Grab that iron. Love the mini irons. And, oh, that came close, Michelle. That was very close. There. I think one of the neighbours is riding around on his four-wheeler. I can hear him. Alicia scored my sister-in-law's machine after she passed away. She loves it and keeps her out of my stash. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Okay, so we are opening up the seam and pressing. So just sit that baby down. So again, stick my fingers in the middle. Yeah, look, and you know, Becky likes to do the crocheting. She's starting to do. I was doing that a lot earlier than her in age, but it's different these days. You know, I never had the computers like they've got these days to interrupt their life and childhood. They do these days, and which is sad, but it happens. It's the way it is. But she's starting on it, and which is what I used to do. You know, what she's doing now is what I used to do. I think I've still got my first sewing machine. I should get that out. It's about 35, 40 years old. It shows you how long I've been sewing for. Still can't get it right. I'm okay with that. Still stuff up, still learning things. The day I stop learning is another day I need to stop sewing. You know, you can always learn from each other, and perfection is overrated. That's what I think. So if you don't get these 100% right, don't panic. This is just designed to help you get them right. It's not a guarantee. No such thing. So why do you open the seams? Okay, so Lynn, with this one, because there's so much going into the points, it will help alleviate. It also helps me find the points, so it's not a pointless quilt. Right. So I'll show you that. That's why I want to reiterate this process as well. I'm just going to open that up a little. God, I love my mat. I love my machine. I love my mat. Life is good. I've got a quilt on at the moment that I'm not enjoying. It's making me never want to do custom quilting again. That's what happens. See, when something becomes a chore, it changes your perception on the whole thing. So it becomes not fun anymore. So it just made me not want to. And she's not an easy. I started sewing when I was around 11, so I have been sewing for a very long time. Yes, so I would have to say I would even be younger. I reckon I was sewing even. Oh, what for that there? I reckon I was sewing even when I was in my wait, is that a colour? Oh yeah, very light colour. I'll just pop them aside. Oh, I reckon I was sewing when I was in primary school, even. Well, I'm not as old as you are, but I've still been sewing a hell of a long time. I used to sew I used to sew my own clothes together when I was in primary school and high school. So you start high school at 11-ish. So I was well and truly sewing by then. Got all my stuff yesterday. Used that little battery unpicked already. Isn't it awesome? Isn't that little battery unpicker the best thing since sliced bread? I love that thing. Okay. I think I should have enough. Done a few different varieties, and I'll do a couple of the lighter ones. So as you can tell, I obviously haven't got caught up with my stuff. So this just helps us do this part, getting these all together, and I'll show you how I trim them. I use a creative grid ruler. I've only got a 6.5 one with me, but that's okay because I can use that. Still, it's not as easy as using a 4.5. I have ordered some more. I'm waiting for them to come. My first machine was 30 years ago, and I only upgraded last year. Yeah, both Genomes. Yeah, my first one was a Genome. I used to sew on my grandmother's one. It had like a wooden base and everything. I remember doing that. I remember making dolls stuff. You know, bags, like little bags. So I used to, I must have drove Mum crazy. Always wanted to do something. Yeah, 76. Well, I wouldn't have thought so. So, well, I'm 52, 53 this year, and I've had that sewing machine for 35 years. And like I say, I used to sew when I was really little, and I've been long tapestry, long stitch, cross stitch. I started cross stitching. I actually was taught, and I've never done it any other way, is counted cross stitch. You're not old. 76. You're not much older than my mommy. No one in your family sews. Well, you've got a sewing family now, Yvonne. That's it. You now belong to us. Come on, little darling. You can come apart now. Thank you. So, Mum used to sew my aunties, or for my aunties, my cousins. You know, not ballet. What is it? Jazz ballet. All those sort of things. All that stuff with the sequins and that. I don't know how she did that. I couldn't do that. That would drive me nutty. More patience than I have. I used my grand singer treadle. Oh, that's awesome. And I don't think Mum or my nan would have been able to afford one. I don't know if she ever had one. No idea. No. So the only thing you're going to need to watch out for in this is to make sure that you don't have two colours sitting together. That's the only thing you've got to sort of be aware of. I'm almost done. And just going to iron. Just press that a little, because you know, once I realised, oh, holy heck, we're doing this live thing, I went, oh, well, there goes my plans of getting myself organised. And I basically dropped everything I was doing and got my classes ready. So this has been crumpled up in a corner for a little while. Oops. For a week, anyway. Yeah, so I thought, well, I need to pull my finger out and go and do what I got to do. So I'm pressing more than I need, just in case I change my mind on a colour. For this, I'm going to show you one corner, and you're going to do the same in each thing. I was about 17 when I made myself a royal blue velvet dress. Oh, wow. It was the first time I'd seen her sew. When I was little, I had a machine that you clamped to the table, which I still have. Oh my God. Now, that sounds familiar. Was it a wooden base? I just remember having using a machine that had a massive, it was as heavy as lead, and it had this massive wooden base to it. It was crazy, crazy. Yeah, the velvet, eh? Gosh. Do you know, that stuff all comes back in. All those clothes and that, they're wearing that stuff. Some of the stuff when I was young, the 80s stuff, and I've said to Becky, oh my God, I actually used to wear what you're wearing. Like, it just goes around and around in circles. What goes around comes around. Metal, I was only small. Was that a featherweight? What they call a featherweight? It's one of those featherweights. Because apparently they're like hen's teeth. Okay, so, alright. Now, I'm just going to move this. And I'm going to need more of those, I think. So, I'll cut some more. They've been cut, so they're done. That can sit there. That can sit there. Back in its pile, that can stay over there. Alright, and I need to trim these. So let's turn this. Saw some Vella tracks the other day. Velour, yeah, yes, I think so. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I've got a feeling the featherweight was the one that they used to clamp. Because you'd have to clamp it down. Alrighty, okay. So, this one here is a 6.5 inch. You can still use them. Creative Grid rulers have like this wooden base with a blue dome lid and only straight stitch and unpick. It's impossible. They have like a grip, like they've got non-slip bits to them, and it will help. I was a singer, yeah, okay. It will help with squaring up. So I want to square it up at 4.5. So there's my 4.5, and I am going to take the cover off this one. If anyone wants it, I can rewrap, but just take it off so you can see. Okay, so you can see there's that line there. That line will always need to be on the line of my seam. So wherever my seam is, it needs to be there. Okay, and I'm going to trim up. I can turn it and trim, okay, so that it's 4.5. So starting with the start there, I might actually just trim that little bit there. I need to stand and do this. So line up that, hold it there, trim that off, and trim that. Then flip it around that way and go to the 4.5 mark on your ruler. Okay, see that here, 4.5 mark there, 4.5 down here, and line up that line on my seam, and then just cut this side. Come on. Okay, and that squares it up for you. Oh, you would like it, Denise? Sure. I promise you I won't hurt it. Just remind me at the end, will you? Because I will forget. So I'm sort of centering it on that block there. So make sure it's on that line. And I have ordered from 2.5, I think, to about 8.5 at the moment. I think I'd have to have a look, but I did do a bit of an order on these because they seem to be quite popular, and I thought you girls probably don't get a chance to see them that often. So I thought I'll order a few. 4.5. Got a nice 4.5 inch square. If you can make sure you take your little tail off. Okay. There we go. I love using the creative. Oh, they're beautiful, aren't they? I do love these. These are great for when you're doing anything like this because they've got that, so it creates a bit of a perfection, I suppose. And just line her up without being perfect, because who does perfect? Makes you feel like you're doing something well. So we'll square these all up. And that also means if you've got, see that square, that one triangle, sorry, is much bigger than that one. If you've got that issue, it does not matter so much because you're going to square up with this anyway. So that excess is going to be cut off. Like that. There, 4.5. Nice, different, unusual. So do that. Turn it around. For making ballet. Oh, I couldn't even look at my. Yes, you wouldn't. Hi, Jenny. Oh, that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to. You can come and go as you please. It will go for, you know, a good hour or so. So with me fluffing around, that one's done. And that one's not. So I'm literally just squaring up at the moment. So if you've sort of missed some of this, you'll be able to go back and look at it. And like I say, I will be putting all these videos from this listing last week up on YouTube as well. So you'll be able to go there and save it to your... I nearly had a heart attack then. I thought I'd cut it too small. Save it to your like to watch again so you can find it again. So lining up that cross line, that crosshair line, which is on here, with my seam is how I'm getting that nice and square. Okay. Oops, days. Go that way. Line up, get to 4.5. Make sure it's still lined up. It is. That way and that way. My blade might be getting a bit blunt. I need to sharpen it again. Love learning from you. Thanks, Sharon. How you going? I hope you're doing well today. Oh, come on, Michelle. Get your stuff together. There it is. There it is. There's your halfway mark. Oh, found it. And halfway. Having the glove also stops my hand from slipping too. Now this will work at any size. So if I had to cut this down to 3.5, whatever I had to cut it down, you can just use your ruler and it'll cut down to that size. See how wonky that one is? So we're going to straighten him up with a bit of luck. Give it a go. All right, so we've got 4.5 that side. I trust the white ones that I cut because I know that I used the Stripology ruler, so I know they're pretty damn good. Whereas I know that the charm squares could be cut wrong. Anything could happen between the time they're cut, the time they get to the machines, or, well, these ones aren't. These ones are done manually, so they're definitely not going to be perfect. There we go. We now have a perfect one. Yes, we learned a lot. Michelle is an amazing... Oh, thanks, sweetie. Oh, look, you guys are amazing. I'm nothing without you. That's how it works. Yeah. Sorry, it's going to take me a few minutes to do this. And look, you know what? If you cut one wrong, it's only fabric. It's no big deal. Okay? Don't sort of beat yourself around the head about it. Just make sure I'm getting that on a half mark. Yes. Yeah, so getting back to this bleeding quilt that I've got, it's just about sending me nutty. Here. There's a lot of work on it. Oh, gee. So I don't know whether I'm going to do custom quilting after the ones I've got here done. Because it's just about burst my bubble, I think, on the custom side of things. I've spent about 70 hours on it so far, and I can pretty much guarantee she's not going to really... Oh, thanks, Debbie. Oh, I'm glad I got you back into it. I didn't know that. Yeah, so I'm not a real 100% that I'm going to do it. You know, that custom thing on the long arm. So, might leave that up to the professionals. So if you've got arthritic hands as well, using these gloves, I have used a large grid ruler like you were doing, but how does it's 4.5? Well, what it literally, you would basically place the line on the seam, right, and go bang bang, then turn your thing around, bang bang. It's as simple as that. So the 4.5, it just, that's why they get the ladies are getting the different sizes, so you don't have to sort of jiggle the ruler around. It's pretty much as is. All you got to do is line it up on that seam. Yeah. So I reckon that could be my daughter. I reckon home. She's been away for 3 or 4 days. It's been bloody quiet. Debbie, we all have, I tell you what, most of us have about 5, 6, maybe more. Excuse my ignorance, but is custom quilting to a customer's design? No, so, well, sort of. Custom quilting, no, not a silly question. No silly questions here. So custom quilting is when it's not edge to edge. So an edge to edge design means that it is the same pattern all over. You can have heavy custom quilting, like the one I'm doing for you, Gidget, that sort of thing. That's custom quilting. Yours has been fun. I've really enjoyed doing yours. I really enjoyed doing that one. But then you're a lot more laid back than this lady. So, although, do you have any? I've ordered them in, Suzanne. So yeah, as soon as they come in, you guys will know. And I've ordered a few, and I can always order them. They just take a little while because they come in from the States. It's not too bad. They're not too slack on the whole process, but I do have to wait. But yeah, I'm only a beginner, not quite finished my first quilt. It's a king size. Wow, a king size for your first one. You're brave. Well done. That is brilliant. See, that I love. I love that. When I first started, I did what I thought was a PC, like a quilting course or patchwork course. It was a patchwork course, and anyway, with Faye Winther, and I was taught by hand. So my first lot of quilting and sewing by being taught was all done by hand. How crazy is that? So piecing, sewing, the whole lot. Oh, look, Sharon, it doesn't matter as long as you enjoy the process, Sharon. You might not do a king size for a while, but as long as you enjoy it. And to be honest with you, yeah, Sharon, everything, the whole lot, it was pieced by hand, it was quilted by hand. I was told that, you know, you get those quilt police people that we were talking about earlier, that, you know, real quilters don't do it by machine, blah, blah, blah. Not that Faye did that, she was really good. She quilted by machine. Brave girl, awesome, be done. My first one was a cock quilt. Yeah, I think mine might have been it was a throw, and I think it was a sampler quilt. They're brilliant for starters. I always suggest them, or those disappearing 9 patch. They're always good, or disappearing 4 patch. They're good too, especially for beginners, because they teach a few different aspects like cutting, piecing, and points like joining. But anyway, that I just realised I'm just not going to live long enough, so it's all I can't be doing that all the time. I do it by hand. I made my grandmother a quilt by hand. I pieced it together by machine, but then I quilted it by hand. I've still got it. She's passed away quite a few years ago now, 10 years ago or so. I'll leave you there for a minute. You're probably going to get cut off. So if you notice, the main thing I'm doing here, or not doing, is I am not putting any major pressure on the triangles. So because they're on a bias, I definitely don't want them stretched. So instead of trying to pull that off, or, you know, whatever, I just left it there. Oh, good, Adele, that'd be awesome if you could do that. Share your next quilt. I think mine, I think mine's falling apart now. It's been old. 9 patch. There you go, Debbie. Yeah, 9 patch. They're good. They're good like that. Alrighty, so let me. Oh, let me get my bits together. Just want to stay. I cut and pieced mine. It was professionally quilted, and she was very impressed that it was not 1 millimeter out of square. Wow. No, mine was completely out of square. Absolutely, completely. There was nothing that matched. Still doesn't. Still to this day, I'm like that. That's why I like art quilts. You don't have to be perfect. Art quilts are great that way. All right. Hey, sorry, just and that thing to work. Beauty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what you've got here, let me see if I can get that down a little bit more. Jenny, it doesn't matter as long as it's loved. That's the main thing. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that over. So we've got this corner piece here that we're looking at. Okay. Then what we want to do is that, and different color. Actually, I need to separate these into darks and lights. And darks. And goes that way, silly woman. Yes, I've used mine as well. She showed her quilting group ladies and said she has sewn this by hand. Wow. Alright, so just move that over a bit. That's going to go there. Okay. Then we're going to put, we need this one here. Yeah, they would love it. Absolutely would love it. Okay. Then Oh, that one up there. Put that little doodah out of there. Little fluffy bits everywhere. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to try and get it to do its thing. So you've got a 4.5 inch plain white square here. You've got one white and colour, and then two colour, right? One with colour and that there. And then you're going to basically sew those together. And so what you're going to need to do is here, just bear with me, my stuff's on my phone, so I'm trying to get it off my computer while I'm looking at this. Sorry about that, Jenny. Freezing. I'm trying not to. I know it's cold, but you know. Okay. All right. So what you're going to have is you're going to have that one there. Then you're going to have, that's marks under the table, not on my fabric, that one there. Am I still freezing? See you, Dal. That one there. Don't be sorry, it's a wee. That one there. And that one there. And then you're going to have another one of these coloured ones here. So I'll move it back a bit. Okay. So you're going to do that one, and you're going to do that for top and bottom. So that will go along here. Okay. So this is your block we finished before, this one. So that is going to go along the top and along the bottom. Okay, and we're also going to do the sides. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 lots of 4. I'm going to show you in a second. Just bear with me. Come on, little thing. So basically, we're creating a larger version of what that one is what we're doing right now. All right. So, oops, let's not press buttons now. Move those monsters out of the way. Let's move this over. Okay. So you've got a plain square and white and colour, white and colour, and the tonal one. Okay. So you go like a 4 patch, and then you do the other facing the other way, so they come into a V. So you grab this one. This one's a beauty because you don't have to, I'll put them, actually I'll set them up in a minute on the ironing mat because they don't slide. So this one doesn't need to be pinned so much because it doesn't have a seam. So that's going to be the seam I'm going to sew on. Alright, so we're going to sew that line there, and then we're going to flip that one there, and again you won't have a point yet to sew together, so you can use a clip if you want to. If you've got clips there, use them, probably a little bit easier. Chuck the clip in. That's the side I'm going to sew there. Then you get this one, flip it over. That's the side you're going to sew. Pop your clip in. There. I'm going to flip that over, and that's going to sew that one. And there. Okay, bang bang. Grab your first one, put it under your machine, down, and just with your fingers, just keep it lined up. Lift that because it's caught down. Come on, lift up. Wait, stay up. Something's got caught. What's got caught? It's got caught. That was my finger. Don't forget my finger. Hang on. I need the scissors. It's got caught on a... Oh, get up. I might just pop that up. Just saves it from trying to chew me. Ah, yeah, okay. Alright, so needle up. Let's try again. Let's not chew the fabric, please, machine. And that can go down. And we'll just start again. And again, chain piece. So you get the next one. And as long as your seams are consistent, like they're the same each time you do them. So it doesn't matter if it's a scant 1/4 inch or it's a fat 1/4 inch or whatever, or it's a 1/2 inch, as long as your seams are the same through the whole thing, it is fine. Alright, so then we get this one. Okay. Alright, so let's trim that off. I'm going to put them back exactly where I found them, there and there. Okay, then you're going to, again, we're going to open these up and press. Alright, so again, I'll just get my doodah, and you notice I'm still keeping them in position so I don't get confused. Alright. That one might be a bit of a poop because of the black thread, but anyway, we'll deal with that. Alright, so pop that down again, and this will help out later, and I'll show you in a sec what I mean. Let's open. So see that little point there where that fabric meets there? That is my point on that side. So that's where I'm going to aim. So by opening it up, I can really see that. Does that make sense? So that will help when I'm doing my seams, and it'll help assist me in getting them reasonably close. Okay. Now when you're doing this, just press. Don't actually iron. Leave that for the clothing. Okay. So that there. So I've automatically, oh yeah, that way. Alright. So then again, you open this one up. Again, I'm just going to flip it so I can put my foot on it. There we go. There and there. Like that. So that'll open up like that. Then you're going to get that and sew it to that, like that, on that edge there. So I'm just going to clip that straight away. These two, again, open up, flip, and press open. It's getting dark already here. Wow. Okay, turn it over. I'm going to flip it back. Just press it. So that one there. Open up, flip over, and open it out. And then press that. Okay, bring that back, clip that one on there, grab your clip, and we're now going to sew these, and you're going to do that 4 times. You need to do this process 4 times, okay? So you're going to need, let me count in my head, 1, 2, 3, 4 white and coloured half square triangles for each one, and 2 the coloured half square triangles. Okay, so up, down, stitch. Come on. Let's go back there, up, back. Be nice this time, no chewing. Thank you. And again, you can change chain piece. Okay, so bring that over. And using the same seam allowance that I have the whole way through. And take it off. Trim them apart. So that will now give you that one and that one. Okay. So come back over here. I'm going to flip that one over and I'm going to open it out. Yes, I know I've got a black thread. Should be right. That's one. And flip that back. Flip over the next one. Open it out. Get rid of that coloured thread there behind the white. That would be annoying. And I'm going to show you something in a second, and you'll be going, oh, I see now. Just make sure they stay in the right direction. Don't be directionally challenged now. Thank you. That one over there. And let's just give them a quick press this way, and that. Then what you see is there's your 1/4 inch, right? If I turn it over on the back, my 1/4 inch point is going to be right in that V. Okay, hop down, hop down. So flip that one over here. Now there are a couple of places where you need to join, and when you join, make sure you look over the top, like look down, got that nice, put a clip on it. If you don't have them exact, because of the same colour, it's not going to be really, big deal. I'd rather a little bit off there than I would be over here. Do you know what I mean? So someone told me the other day this is called a hang pin method. I didn't know that. So you pop your pin right in where that point is, there on the top fabric. See? Then you line it up with the point on the bottom fabric, just there, like that. And just push them together, and then you can pin or clip the side, whichever suits, and that should keep them together nicely. And you'll do that to each of those seams that have that point that you need to catch. All right, because that's exactly where your needle's going to go. One width of the like a thread width from that thing, from that actual point. So if you want to, you can put a pin on either side, or you could use what they call them, U-pins, or whatever suits you. So I haven't actually pinned or gripped the end. Doesn't really need it. Then take that pin out of there. I'm just trying to get that up. And then we're going to sew down there, and you're going to do this process 4 times, okay? So lift, and then you're going to need 4 squares of the plain colour, which will be the white or whatever that background colour is, and I'll tell you to size them soon. So you get up to here, keep your finger on that so it doesn't move, and get your needle, make sure your needle hits right on that thing. One there. And then you can just travel along here. Hello, Cherie. How are you? So 1/4 inch seam all the way down. And I'm taking that out, but I'm putting my finger on there with my foot up because I can see that's going to up under. There we go. And make sure my needle, oops, it goes a little bit fast, catches that point. Then holding this top one, just even it up with the side, like the side here, and stitch down there like that. If you've got one of these, probably needs me to go down the paddock, but I am going to take you with me. Okay, no worries, Debbie. All right, so that's that one done. Okay, so we're going to turn that. I'm going to press that. So let's just push this all out. So that's going to help reduce some bulk, especially in these seams here where all those points are going to start meeting. You don't want a huge amount of bulk in there if you can avoid it, and having it open will actually also help with that. Not that you do that on every quilt, but it's worthwhile doing it on this one with the triangles. Okay, so just press that. And try really hard not to iron, like don't go pulling and stuff at it. And when you run the iron over it, just be gentle. Like, I love it when you can smell the wax from the batik. Okay, so then turn it over and just give that another. No steam, it's a dry iron. And just holding that with my fingers, I think I did better. Go and hop in bed. Look at those points. Get a load of those babies, hey? Nothing pointless about that one at all. So that one there, that'll go on here, like that. So that's your center one here, up here, and then that one will go on there. All right, and you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to need, I will tell you, 4 squares for the corners. And the easiest way to do that, figure that out. Oh, I know, woohoo, Patty. So these are 8.5 inches. Dun, dun, dun. So I will do an 8.5 inch square, bang, on the edges of that. So when we come back and do some more of these, like we do some more, I might do some more tomorrow, depending on what I've got on. I'll see if I can do some more with you guys, and we'll reiterate what we did today, and we'll add on those sides. So what do you reckon of that? So that's going to create like a bigger star outside. Cool, hey. Nice. So that is the next. So you need 4 of those and 4 8.5 inch squares. Yeah. And then we're going to join them to the center. So you're going to join, like you can do the sides first if you like. So you'll have side and side to the center one, and then you're going to join your 2 8-inch squares, 8.5 inch, sorry, squares to the sides of either side, the top and bottom of this one, side, short side, on the top and the bottom, and then you're going to have 3 rows to join together. Yeah? So you get what I mean? So that will go under here. So if I put that there, so basically what we've created, if I pick this up and go down, you can see, can you see that? There it is. Yeah? There you go. All good, hey? Very nice. So me likey. So to join that on, so if I'm going to do this, say if this is my side, again, we need to do that. Move my chair, sorry. we need to do that hang pin thing. And because we've got those little points there, nice, Stella, nice, different, unusual, we're going to be able to put that straight through there. I know that's where it is. Obviously this one doesn't have a 1/4 inch thingy, but just for the process, you put it through, line it up, and put your clip. You can put one on either side. Come to your next one. There's your point just there where those fabrics join. You'll see a little shape. You pop that in there. Then you pick this up and you can see that's where the point is there on that fabric. So if I turn that way, you can see there. So you put the pin through there and you just give it a bit of a, you make sure that that pin is straight up and down, straight up and down. I'd rather the seam be out than the join, if that makes sense. So make sure the pin's straight up and down and clip it right next to it. Make sure it's up and down. Is it up and down? And then that one is done. Then you do the same with this one. Through there, right where that is, that point is. Through that one there, right on the point. Push it down. Give it a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a wiggle back and forwards. So make sure that that pin is right up and down. Get your clip or pin and pin right next to it. Don't let it go anywhere. If you want more in between, you can. Like if you want a pin in between, you can. You don't have to. I'm quite happy not to pin in between those, and the end doesn't need pinning. And then we need to go straight down here. So to do that, we're going to line up that top one and move that over. Lift up the foot. Candy, stop it. And just go back because I was off the edge there. And when you come up to that point there, make sure, put your finger on there. Don't let that little doodah go anywhere. Slowly come up. Oops, wrong foot. Wrong one. And forward, and there we go. And make sure that that needle goes right next to, right where that that point meets. And keep boogieing along. Get to your next one as you get closer and closer, because the clips will get in the way. Pins not so much. And just hold on to it nice and tight. There we go. Make sure that that needle goes right in that spot. Scoot along to the next one. If you need to manipulate or get them to work in, you can do it before you get to that point. This one's going to be fine. And I'm going to just lift that up because I don't know whether that moved. Might have moved. We'll soon find out when I open it up. And make sure that goes right in that spot. Line up the edges here of that triangle. Just stitch down to the end and cut off. Now, yeah, I reckon that's going to be good. So that one there is now on. Yeah, it's a fraction out. I'm pretty good with that. That's not that bad. I don't think I need to change that. I'd be happy with that. Only problem is I've got two the same colour near each other, but yeah, who cares? Blind man would love to see it. All right, let's go. In the whole scheme of things, you're not going to notice it. All right, let's move this over here. Probably should have swapped them around. Whoop, look out. I'm dropping things. I'll just turn that. There we go. All right, so you've got that big seam there. Open her up. Okay, and get that iron, and let's just press. So very, very light. Make sure that stays open there. This is probably the nicest seams I've ever had. Just saying. Turn it over. I have done worse points than that, baby. It is annoying me that that's close to that, though. I will tell you that one. So let's open that. Let's hold that up for you so you can see. See? Okay. Might even move the camera up so you can see that a bit more. There we go. Oh, hello. So here we go. So you'll have that on the top and on the bottom. So you pop it on the top and bottom. I think it'll be fine. And then do you sell the mini iron? If so, how much? Sharon, yeah, I do. They're 65. Yep, I just got an order in. And the mats. So these little fellas, they come separately. They don't come with that, but that sits on there. So I always sit it on there because they don't stand very well. And they're 25. Just so you know, I just got it all in. So that's how you do that. So top and bottom, and then you're going to need another two for the sides, and you're going to need those 8.5-inch squares. Now, if you've made adjustments and your squares are smaller, all you have to do is measure that side piece before you join it on, and that's going to be your square. Okay, no worries, Sharon. If you need anything, let me know. Send a PM. I'm happy to. Denise Castles, who wanted that 6.5-inch square before? Was it Denise? Debbie? I've forgotten. So just quickly remind me, because brain like a sieve. But I hope that so if you can see what we're doing, we're enlarging each time. So you got one there, little one. Oh, I'll hold it up. Little one there. Now we're making a big one. All right? Oh, we're just going to get bigger and bigger each time. I know. So, yes, Denise, okay. So I'll stop using your ruler. Sorry about that. And I'll pop your name on. I'll pop it in there. So I think tomorrow we'll go. Damn, I had a nanny nap. That's okay, Debbie. You'll catch it. It'll rewind. Yep, it was you. Yeah, Denise. So what I'll do is those threads, there's a heap of them. I've just got to go through and get out some orders that people put in before. If you're wanting one or two of each at $1 each, they're embroidery threads. It's cheap as chips. The cheapest I've got in embroidery threads, I think, is about $3. The Venus ones are even cheaper again, so can't get much cheaper than that. But we'll bring them live to you tomorrow night. I was umming and ahhing about doing a live, but I think I will. It's my usual spot, 7:30 Monday night. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll see you then. Bye.